Hi everyone, Kevin from K-Tech Services here. This video series is going to be on how to do two-color lettering script, preparing your own artwork and on the Pacific. Now, granted, with Melco lettering, there's one or two scripts already in the alphabets, but what if I wanted to do my custom own and like from a Corel Illustrator or from a TrueType font in your Corel Draw or your Adobe Illustrator? Okay, so I use Corel Draw, so this video was going to be basically with Corel Draw. Working with Adobe is going to be basically the same way. You're just going to find the same tools. Um, now, the first part will be on the artwork preparation, and then the other parts will be working with Design Shop V11, how to digitize it. Okay, so let's get started. Let me go ahead and screen share here. Okay, so obviously I'm just going to move myself down here. Okay, so basically I have my crop now. Now I have medium points set right now. So how mine, now granted yours will be a little bit different, but the one thing I do have in my Docker section over here, I do have color properties and object selected. Makes it a little bit easier when I'm doing my artwork. So let's get started here. So let's go ahead and I'll do my letter A and I'll just type in my name, Kevin, okay? It's going to come in Arial on it. So I'm going to change that to 150 so it's nice and big. I'm going to drag it over here in the middle. Now my wheel and stuff like that on my mouse is a zoom in and a zoom out function. So okay, so now I'm going to change the font to a script. Let's do. Whoops, too far. Brush script. Okay, everybody likes that. Okay, so there's a couple things that we need to set this up to make it work right for the artwork conversion and stuff like that. So Design Shop will like it. That's the key. Okay, so we're going to put a border around this. So already I've got selected here. I have the properties opened here, and the uniform is actually the inside, and then we don't need to worry about the middle one here. That's background fill. That's another tool. So basically, we want the outline. So then we're going to select this, and we're going to do 2 points. Now, of course, that made it a little bit fatter because we have the same color. So I'm going to click on the outline color right here, and it's going to bring up the palette. You can leave it to CMYK, or I usually set it to RGB. It doesn't really matter. I just want a really red. Okay, so and then there's a border. Now you can make this a little bit bigger, border wise and stuff, but it's not necessary. We'll do that in Design Shop and stuff like that. So we just need a 2 point. It's fine. Okay, so I'm going to click off it so that disappears. Okay, so there's a couple things that we need to pair this artwork. We need to space these letters apart see, since these are kind of connecting, and actually these are connecting wrong. We need to space these apart. We're going to actually, so what we're going to do is I'm going to do the editing tool here, and it turns these letters into little hollowed nodes, as you see at the bottom. And we're just going to kern that over a little bit. We're just going to hold down the left click and move that down. Left click, hold down, move over. Now, the thing is, you got to be careful here a little bit because you can move N, X, and Y. This should have unlimited undo and redo. So if you want to use the keyboard, you can do that. I use the shift and arrow button so then I don't kern up. That's kind of what I do if you're keyboard oriented or not. I just want to get that so they're not spaced apart. So if I highlight that, hold my shift key and my left arrow, I can actually kern it. Okay, so that's what I want. Okay, so perfectly. I just don't want them to connect. Okay, so the other thing that I noticed here, see these sharp corners right here and stuff like that? I don't care for that because it's going to digitize like that once we get that in Design Shop. So if you come over here to the palette here where we actually did the border, and if you see these three little dots right here, click on that. That's outline settings. And then it's going to bring up this outline pen box now, because I imagine there's other ways to get this box up, but that's one way to do it there. So a couple things here I wanted to point out. See how the corners there is minor, and then we have rounded, and then we have beveled. So I click on beveled and stuff like that. Oh, I'm in the editing tool. Make sure you're in the pick tool. Sorry about that, because it's not going to function if you don't. I was in the editing tool because we kerned it. So you know, it won't fix this as we're doing it. So just I clicked on the editing tool. Now we're out of it. There we go. Okay. So so now I'm going to go to three periods, and then make sure you click on the rounded corner. See how it changed that from a straight, straight edge to now a curve. That's so much better. And if you look over here, we got a nice curve instead of a nice, pointy whole thing there. So that's the thing. Now, the other key thing here to remember is it usually defaults to center outline. We want that. We don't want outside and we don't want inside, okay? Because we want that black border. That's kind of the key about making this overlap just right and stuff like that. We want the border of the black to be right in here. Okay, so we're done there. So we can click OK. All right, and then I'm going to zoom out. Okay, perfect. Now we're done setting up the letters how we need it. Now we need to convert it. Okay, so the first thing now, because I haven't really found a short key for it except for the hotkeys. But if you go to the object menu and stuff, you will find it. Oops, gotta make sure it's highlighted. Make sure you click on that. And then go to object, and then it's right here. Convert outline to object. Okay, Control Shift Q if you want to use the hotkeys. But we're gonna well, before I do that, I want to make sure I click on objects so we can see it. Because right now we're seeing this as one layer, as one entity right now. We need to split it apart. So I'm going to highlight it, and then I'm going to go to object, and then I'm going to go to the convert outline to object. Click on that. Okay, see what happens now? Now it's two pieces. Okay, now the curve and stuff. Well, the outline is one color, and so is the inside. But here's the thing. See how this Kevin, this is not right. This is actually still seeing it as a lettering font. We don't want that because the design shop will pick up on that. And this example and stuff like that, we want that to be a curve. So to do this, there's a couple of different ways. I mean, as long as it's highlighted, you can go to object and hit convert curves, but there's a shortcut right here. If you just go right here, right click on your mouse, you'll see the control curves, or control Q will do the same thing. And now see how it changed? Now it changed that to a curve. So both of these are curves now. Now, if I hit the little dial, okay, that's the outline. And then obviously if I go here, here's the inside. Perfect. So that's what we want. Now we've converted it perfectly that way we need it to put it in, well, actually to save it to the right format to basically import into Design Shop. Okay. So I usually will save my artwork no matter what I do. So Kevin, in CorelDRAW, so in case I have to go back to it. And now in this step here, we need to save it to the right format to bring into Design Shop. Okay. Now, I usually will go to File, Export. I use Adobe Illustrator version 8. Now, Melco has worked on this a little bit for different formats. Whatever format works for you, try it. Okay. But Adobe version 8 has worked for me forever since we started doing this. So it's a good format. I never had a problem with it. So I use it. I don't deviate from it. So I'm going to go ahead and export this. And now see here, I'll make sure that it says version 8. And granted, you see all the versions, but version 8 is the one that works the best. And click OK. And voila. Okay, now it's saved. Now we can actually go and import this and then start doing the process of digitizing it in stitches. Okay, so that's the quick tutorial right there for part one. Thank you for watching, and check out part 2 on how to digitize this inside Design Shop V11. Mostly part 2 will be for the smaller version for like left chest, and then actually part 3 will actually going to be for like doing a bigger size for a jacket bag. Okay, thanks for watching, and we'll see you on the next video.